Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to day 2 of that design festival. A big thank you to all speakers from yesterday when we listened to a variety of topics from advertising to Indian truck design to AI. A reminder for all those online that you can send questions to us via the Q&A in Zoom during the presentations, and at the end of the presentations, we will pass these on to the speakers. Right, and now for day 2. We would like to welcome back to that Design Fest our next speaker, Rana Sadek from Impact BBDO, and her co-collaborator, Tamara Pinto from Leo Burnett Advertising Agencies. These successful women who have over 40 years experience between them will ask you, after these blissful university years, are you ready to face the real world and step into the advertising jungle? I'd like to welcome Rana and Tamara. Rana, are you there?
Yes. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Rana. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm here today alone. I'm sorry, Tamara has an emergency, so she couldn't attend, but we wrote this together. So hopefully it will be a very light, let's say, kind of, I'm not going to say it's like advices, it's more like a chat, let's say, how to prepare the new student. They're coming from university, they are preparing themselves to be part of a real world in terms of working agency or working alone as well. So what to do, how to behave. I think I'll do my best to make it as light as possible. And I will keep space to have more conversation, and more questions, because I'm sure that each one of the students has a lot to ask.
Thanks, Rana. It's a shame Tamara couldn't make it, but we look forward to your presentation.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, we can see the screen, okay. Rana. Thank you.
Perfect. So to start with, like we said, from pencils to pixels, which is what we're doing here. Like we need to bridge the gap. There's a gap between the university and the advertising agencies in general. Definitely university is not an easy thing, and when you grow year after year, it's like demanding. You need to have some ethics, you need to have some a lot of work, I know that, but the real world is a bit different. You just need to have some adjustment, and this is what we're trying to do here, to explain what to do. So we're saying when you start university, you think, especially if you are really hard worker student, you think you are on the top of the classroom, you are on the top of the world. You think that you are really prepared for the real world. And this is where, when you come to the corporate places, like the agencies, you are on the bottom of the corporate ladder, which is because you are super juniors. So this is where things happen. So what we're doing here, we're gonna prepare the student, what type of thing that they need to do to work on themselves, how to fill this gap, or to be as close as ready to the corporate world. So where we're coming, as I said, in the university, you need to be intelligent, you need to have a dedication, definitely. Those things that definitely you need to carry them as well to the corporate world, because you always need this leadership. When I say leadership, it doesn't mean that you need to be a boss. No, leadership, in your character, that you're taking initiatives, you owning things, ownership. Adaptability is a very strong, let's say, thing that you need as well to have as a character, because agency, every day in the agency is a different day. And you need this type of flexibility, adaptability. Sometimes we have, most of the time, actually, we are under pressure, but it's a different type of pressure. So you need to be very flexible and adaptable in order to fit nicely with the agency, the environment. And communication, I think this is essential for every job. It's not only advertising. You need to know to communicate properly. Communication means understanding. It means listening to the others and doing what's needed. So this type of communication that you need. So I added a couple of small films, just because my presentation is a bit dry in terms of it's all advices. So I did something, I add this exercise, like let's say example of how people sometimes they think themselves they are on the top of the world and that they're doing perfect, and apparently they're not. So this is one of the examples.
弱成这样也敢闯江湖？
一个就手腕折了。
别打你的二破拳了，来条 Snickers。兄弟，怎么样？
来劲了。
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers, get some nuts.
So just like a piece of, just like to make you a piece of work that definitely as a brand, it's a super beautiful brand that everyone from the creative loves to work on Snickers. And we had it before in the BBDO, but just to make everyone laugh. So see, like you need some skills, let's say, in order to be prepared for the world. To start with the first one, I'm going to say like, be ready to be invisible. Yes, you need to, everyone as an intern, and we know that it's not about invisible, like, you know, nobody will say hi in the morning. But sometimes, you know, people like juniors, like, you know, they come to the agency, sometimes a bit shy, sometimes they're not prepared, they don't know a lot of people. And honestly, agencies environment a bit overwhelming in terms of like, you go inside and it's super busy, there's no time. People, sometimes we have some like relaxing time where most of the time is like people running around, jumping, like, you know, like doing presentations, clients here and there. So, and we are talking to an age, which is the millennium or like the Gen Z, which is most of them, they're like, you know, they're used to have, I have a son and 14 years old, which is one of the things that he always, his voice needs to be heard. He used to do that. And now, you know, we are living with the social media where all those like segments, usually like their voices are even amplified by either having their opinion, they always say things on social media, and they have an impact. We're not saying that we don't, but we need like to be very careful when we go to the agencies, you know, that sometimes you need to listen as well, and especially for the student. I'm going to explain that later on. But we have as well like a responsibility from the agency point of view, because they are young and they are, and it's very nice to have a voice. It's very nice to have the right words as well to say in the right time. So we need to create this environment, the inclusive environment, let's say a safer place where we can hear their voices, but at the end, we need to direct them and guide them. So it's a two-way communication that from the student point of view, he needs to be as well. He needs to know when to say and what to say exactly. And we need to know as well, like from the agency, we need to hear them as well. So this is when I say like, be invisible. Yes, it will be like the first shock, but when later on, you need to find the right words and the right, like, let's say topic, the right things to say in the right time. So for the second one, yes, I'm going to jump to this. Be unique, find a chair. So literally, like when you go to the agency, it's not about like finding, you're not going to find a chair. We have in offices, but you're going to do a lot of rounds, you know, between, you know, departments, like between account management, creative. You need to understand each one of the department, what they're doing exactly. But when you say like find a chair, it means that you need to be unique, because a lot of people in the agency, a lot of good people actually in our agencies. So you need to require this courage to have this uniqueness. You need to show your point of view, your like perspective, your personality. You need to be an individual. I'll tell you something very like, you know, something, I don't know, it's like a funny, but honestly, I'm proud of it. You need to work on something, so let people knows about you. Like, let's say, they used to call me the BTL girl when I was in Jordan. I was working with Y&R. So they always say like, the BTL girl, because I used to love design, because I was working in an advertising agency. You do a lot of things, but I'm fan like with design. I love doing BTL elements. So they used to call me, which is something good. Honestly, this has helped me later on when like some agency, they were looking for a design, I was like, let's say on the top of the list because I was known with that. There is some people we say in the agency, he's very good in like presentation. He has a personality, he's charismatic. So it's very good to embrace what you have, to find exactly what you love most, and to start with this thing because your strengths at that point. Start like creating this personality, the funny, the hard worker, let's say a good presenter, skillful, like have a lot of skills. I'm gonna go later on and tell you what are what the things they need to do in terms to build this personality. So this is one here. Be a sponge. When I say like this is be a sponge, the only thing that you have as an intern in the agencies is the time, because there is no judgment, honestly, in the beginning. Nobody will say why this intern didn't do his job or like why he didn't come up with things, because it's an intern, he's learning. So he has the time. You need to like fill this time or to use the time in the proper way, which is using it to learn more, to learn skills. We are living in a world of evolving world. We are living actually in an evolving city to start with. As a Dubai, it keeps changing every day. We were talking that day, it's like every day you see something new. So imagine the advertising agencies even faster. It keep evolving. New trends every day. We have a lot of things coming, a lot of programs and new things. AI came. Every day we are hearing about ChatGPT, like the AI, and we are coming from different ages, let's say. Are we just you need to sit and let the younger do that? No, of course, you need to keep learning. And especially as an intern, as I said in the beginning, you don't have those responsibility. You are sitting in a place where you see many things. Stick with people, learn from them, see what they're doing, learn new skills. You can't learn everything, but you need to know most of the things. Like I can't learn, like let's say 3D. I don't want to waste my time learning 3D because it's easily we can find someone he's more expert. I can't be perfect in everything, but definitely I need to know the basic. I need to know where we can use a 3D. I can be a filmmaker while I'm a designer, but you know what is how to do films, how to create a story, how to tell the story. So you need to know. The more you know, the better you will be in the future. So be greedy. Greedy is a negative word, but when we're saying be greedy as an intern, it means that you need to be always asking for extra. I'll tell you a very a quick example. We have an intern in the office where I asked him I need an insight about Emirati culture. It was for Ramadan, let's say. He came up with the insights and came up with designs and references. This is really makes me trust this guy. Like you said, next time I'm going to ask him for more. So this is when he said, don't say okay, they asked me from 1 to 10. I'm going to give him only 9, 10. No, I want 20. This is really it will impress me, and it will make me trust him more and give him more responsibilities and make him grow faster. So this is exactly, say always yes to opportunities. I'll tell you about something that happened with me in the beginning, exactly in the first day of my career. I joined JWT in Damascus. I remember really, this is one of the days that I remember. I went inside the studio where the creative sits, and they told me you need to create a sticker. It's like a promotion, 50% on a shampoo. I need to create the sticker. At that days, which is I graduated 2001, I know a couple of skills. I know some programs. At that day, I'm sure none of the young generation knows the CorelDRAW, which was we used to do designs on CorelDRAW. They asked me, yes, can you design it? Yes, of course. Show me the computer. They opened the computer. I said, where is the CorelDRAW? I said, we are in JWT. We don't use the CorelDRAW. We use Illustrator. Do you know Illustrator? I said, yes, which is I didn't know. I don't know anything about Illustrator, but I never said no. I said, yes, I know a little bit, but I know, but I'm going to work on it. Don't worry. I will present the designs tomorrow. And then I saw a friend, and she's a really friend. Her name's Olga. She's a dear friend now. Olga, can you help me just to learn how to open the Illustrator and how to start? She told me it's very easy. Don't worry. And starting from that day, I never said no. every time like they ask me something new, I said, yes, I know a little bit, but I'm gonna do it and keep learning. This type of personality, I advise, not everyone is the same, but I advise like to have this type of personality, say yes to, especially if there is an opportunity to grow, to be better, or to learn something new. It will help you later in your career. So the next step, you need to find a mentor. Right? You know, you need to ask questions. You need answers. You don't know anything. You know, like you learn the basic university, but you know, life in the agency is a bit different. So you need someone to guide you. And honestly, in my career, I have a lot of mentors in the advertising and outside the advertising, even in the real life. You always need to find this mentor that you trust, and you discuss with him, and you start like shaping your journey. But never ever, like, you know, and this is my, like I was talking about this recently, never ever compare yourself or like copy exactly the journey of that mentor. You need to take your own journey. You need to shape your own journey. You have a different personality, but definitely learn from the mistakes and learn from the way that this mentor, like, you know, had his journey. So it will, he, with the advice, the guidance, it will help you a lot. So the good mentor can offer you a lot of advices, can share his experience, can help you as well to tackle challenges. It's not only a design, like how can I do this, how the program, no, as well, how to think, how, you know, like, you know, to find, let's say, you know, ideas. Sometimes we stuck, and especially on younger age, on like when we are juniors, we stuck in a direction. So I need someone to help me to take it from different direction. So this is where the mentor comes and open your eyes from a different lens, let's say. So, but you need always this mentorship relationship. You need to find like, and you can have a more than one mentor, by the way, depend on their specialty, depend on what you want to learn from them. So I have someone like in the, let's say, talking about management. I love management. I want to learn more about it. I'll find a mentor. Someone like more is about how to balance life between, I have actually my ACD, I love her so much. Her name, Mary Claire. She was my mentor, honestly, how to like to manage between life as a mom for 3 and at the same time as a designer or like an ACD in a big agency. So we used to discuss a lot about those like family, balance, life, work, and all of that. So mentor shouldn't be all the time, by the way, older than you. No, mentor, it means that he has more experience in that subject and he can help you. So as for feedback, this is as well something that we need to learn, and it hurts, honestly, as a, and mostly like we are the creators, the creative people, they are more like an artist, and nobody love when you create something to for someone else to come and judge it. You always will be super defensive. You start defending your artwork, and I see this a lot of the younger designers. They will always like, you know, defending, sometimes aggressively. So, no, this is not, this is no, I feel this is objective, convince me. We need to have a feedback. And as I said, it hurts because, you know, it means that you need to rework on it. And from my experience, never ever we repeated a work and it didn't come much nicer and much stronger, because this is exactly what you're doing. You're creating something and you are, this is not an art. This is more, it's an art, but it should sell something. It should convey an idea. So people, they need to interact and engage with what you're doing. So hearing the people around you, even way much softer, honestly, it's way much easier than hearing the people from outside, because at least the people, they know you and they might be a little bit light feedback, not like the one that comes from outside. They might attack you. So start learning how to see and analyze the feedback and take constructive feedback and leave the negative one that doesn't help. So this is what I said, like asking for the feedback, it's a proactive approach to a personal and professional development. You will never develop if you didn't analyze and hear people talking feedback, like taking their opinions. They will always helping you to create better and to be also as an individual and professional better. And this is why we have in all our agencies evaluation. Not what I was saying, not only the feedback on your work, as well on your character, on your attitude, on the way you're behaving. And there is a point, and like which element that you need to work on. Like, let's say, which things that you need to develop in order to be better in that. And every title needs some criteria of things. So you need every step you need to grow, you need to work on more things. So this is as well, it's very important. Like finger on the pulse. Like when I say we are living in a very quick things happened, and like our creativity, I feel it's something that we observe from the surrounding, and then we reflect what we, in terms of the way we present things, the way we say things. So in this industry, which is a lot, as I said, like a lot of competitions, a lot of work, a lot of things happening, many people coming from around the world, it means that you're not alone. And even if you are super good, you need to, as I said before, you need to stand out. And awards, it make you stand out, because this is kind of recognition. It's like appreciation for what you did with the agency as well. It will never be an individual appreciation. None of the work that came out as an award, it will be individual. We're not an artist that we do painting and it will be me. It's never been me. It's about we as an agency. And this is very important. And you will love it, by the way, the awards. And now we start the award season now. It's super hectic, but it's super fun. And honestly, I always say, like, it is a game. You feel that you want to do more and you want to win and you wish to win. At the same time, definitely the ideas helps a lot of people and create an impact. So it's not about the game, but I love this personality of feeling that instead of having, I'm tired. No, it's something that all the creative love to do. In order to know and to be part of this game, let's say, you need to know what's happening. You need to see a lot of work. You need to know what are the latest things. This will ignite new ideas in your head. And I'll explain later how we link things together. But you need to see a lot of awards. There's a Cannes, D&AD, there's a Links now is happening the next month. So there's many, many awards in the world and different categories, and find the one that it makes you feel like, yes, this is me more, like, let's say films, or like, let's say for me, I love design, I love the impactful as well categories, something with impact. I did jury last year, actually 2003, for the Loeries in digital. I was away from the digital a little bit. This has also opened my eyes, like on a new technologies, the way they were thinking, super, super insightful. You will learn a lot from awards by only watching them. So imagine if you are part of the process as well. So I suggest to go and start looking, because now the season is coming and there is new ideas are coming live now very soon. One of the ideas that I want to share, we did it as an impact BBDO last year. It was collaboration between the two offices between Dubai and Beirut. And we did this award and we took Grand Prix, and honestly, it won Grand Prix in most of the awards. Shows we are so proud of it. It was a teamwork. It was super, super nice. And think how we tackle the problem by the execution at the end for our dear client, which is in An-Nahar. I think everyone knows that we have a very long relationship with An-Nahar as a BBDO.
In Lebanon, political oppression, government failure, and a resulting crumbling economy continue to silence defiant voices, either by killing journalists or shutting down dozens of new publications that are believed to be dead and gone forever. An-Nahar newspaper, to uphold the free voice of the press and to honor the death anniversary of its editor-in-chief, Gibran Tuwaini, who had been assassinated for his voice, did something incredibly defiant. A daily edition that within its pages gave space to 6 publications that had forcefully been terminated over the last few years. Each spread displayed a different previously extinct newspaper, now revived. Every word in those spreads was written by the very same journalists that were once at the helm of these papers, free to write whatever they wanted, without fear. Each page was designed and structured true to the original layout and identities of each defunct newspaper. The reborn newspapers were available not only in print, but online and on social as well. The revived newspapers were read again all over Lebanon. Even parliamentarians spoke up about the
هي
campaign.
بدها توري وتزهر وطن حلو بيحلى فيه العيش.
هاي الصحف هي رأس الحربة في مقاومة سياسة كم الأفواه.
واليوم هيدا جزء من الدفاع عن الحرية، وإذا ما كان في حرية ما رح يكون في عدالة ولا يوم من الأيام.
Against intimidation, An-Nahar's message was clear. The press will never be silenced.
So I hope that you saw this before. I think, honestly, I'm talking about the mentors. I'm privileged that I work in BBDO, one of the biggest agency in the Middle East that's always pushing for awards. And we have, honestly, the best mentor as well, Ali Riz. He's one of the few people that they know how to do awards. They guide you, they help you, they advise. He's super, super great person that we love working with him as well, and especially in the award season. It's really inspiring the way he works, the way he thinks. So now to build, we need to go to the next point, which is build relationships. You need to connect as a designer coming from university. You need to start building your connections. You need to start finding friends. It's not only in the agency itself, like in other agencies, because when you start, in the career, you start going to award shows, you start meeting other people. There's a lot of networking. So this is very important. It helps you later on to have let's say, as well to find jobs later on, or even to share ideas, to share insight. Because as I said, the advertising, honestly, most of us are friends. And because they keep moving from agency to agency, but this is as well, having the network, it helps to share things, to sometimes, as I said, to give a feedback. They say, I love the idea that you did. We love how that we think like that. We think that if you do it again, we'll do it in a different way. So sharing information, sharing opinions, it helps a lot to grow as well. So the last thing that I want to say is very, very important. No matter how good you are, how you have skills, is all about the attitude. You need to start and this is across the whole your journey, the creative journey. No matter how you're creative, people loves your work. People, sometimes they fear you. The attitude is very important because we live now in 2024. It's about the balance between life and work. I go every day to the work. Honestly, I love to go to the work. I love the people there because I spend with them most of the time, from, let's say, from 9 until sometimes 6, 7. Those moments is not about just he is a colleague and that's it. No, they are friends. In order to have a friend, you need to have the right attitude. You need to be friendly, you need to listen, you need to ask, you need to create those relationships. That is this is very important because when you go there, there's a lot of, let's say, healthy competition. I said in terms I need to be better, I need to learn and all of that, but it doesn't mean that you need to love everyone. You need to learn from everyone. You need to be really good with everyone. So people, they will as well be good with you and they will support you and they will help you. And I'm really proud, let's say, I'm blessed that I have the best people that they support in my agency from different departments. So I have also a kind of inspiring film to end this presentation. And then I'm going to have a quick thing, if we still have time, to explain about the creative process in the agency.
The common mayfly has a life expectancy of just 1 day. But is he miserable about it? Not one bit. He fills his day with the things he loves. He soars. He swoops. He savors every moment. Maybe there's a lesson in this for us longer living creatures. Just think, if we embrace life like the mayfly, what a life that would be. Vodafone, make the most of now.
So as Vodafone was saying, make the most of now, it means that it's challenging, like working, like every career. I think working is not easy like before. It's challenging because you need to stand out, you need to do the best, you need to give a lot of energy, a lot of, especially as a creative, you need to think a lot, and which is sometimes tiring. But you might have a lot of rejection from the client, you might to redo a lot of things, but every day you need to find this inspiration, that a small thing that makes you have the energy to start your day, honestly. And sometimes the inspiration comes from small things, honestly, at least for me, from a song, from a word, from a person crossing the road, or from, I don't know, bird flying in front of me. Sometimes this is will let you start your day with a lot of energy, a lot of things. We have a down days, definitely. We have, sometimes we feel tired, and but still take advantage of that moment and learn as much as you can. Enjoy. This is very important. You need to enjoy what you're doing in order to continue. I've been in this, let's say, in this like career for almost like 23 years. I don't look old. I'm just joking. I've been for a long time, but we always make fun of this about my age and how long I've stayed in the industry. Are you bored? No, I'm not bored at all. I think I feel myself like a fresh graduate every day, because every day I feel I need to learn more. I did my master when I had 3 kids, on the 40 years old. When the corona hit, I felt that I need to learn more about things, trends that I didn't learn when I was in university. At my time, I didn't have a computer in my university. So imagine how far I always need to learn. So I'm like, my feeling inside that I'm still a student. I want to continue my study if I can now. And it's not like you need to have a superpower to do that. No, at all. I think you just need to find the right surrounding, the right environment, the right support from the people around you, and you need to have this little inspiration every day. And for me now, I feel like inspiration comes from my kids. Every day I want to do something to tell them that your mom can do that as well. It's not about the age, it's not about the gender. Sometimes it's tiring, it's very difficult for female creative, but still female creative that they have family, let's say. It's more like demanding. It's more like, you need to balance more. It's a hard thing to find this balance, but honestly, it's not impossible at all. And you will really find this joy in everything that you do, because you're doing for a purpose. You need to as well to show your kid that you can do that. Will inspire them later on to be hard worker. So it's too early for you guys. Like, I know that you're coming from university, but this is like lessons that I need to share from my side. After that, I don't know if you have time, Margot. Can I show, I have 2 slides about the creative process?
Yes, we've definitely got time. You've got another 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, 15 minutes. So I'm going to very quickly to explain what type of briefs that we have in the agency and how we start thinking about it. So we have 2 types. We have a client briefs, and we have something called pitches, this is like client. We're trying to get the client. It's a pitch, it's a brief, goes for different, let's say it's a competition. It goes to different agencies, and the one or the team who win, or the idea that will win, it will goes to that agency. So in general, creative process, very similar between both of them. It is like a series of steps. It's, let's say, like you need to follow those steps in order to find the right artwork or like the right campaign for that client, for that objective, or like, you know, for that subject. And you need to understand that this is not that like 1, 2, 3, 4 in order to reach 10. It will never be that, like it's non-linear one. You can go and come during the process, but at the same time, it should somehow to tick all of the points in order to find the one, or like the result that really it will be well studied from different perspectives. So I'll start with the difference between, on each one of them and each steps, what is the difference between the pitch and the client. We start with the inspiration. When we have a brief, definitely the planners, you know, they will write the brief, they will give you a lot of insight, but you need to find an inspiration. You need to do your own research. And this is apply definitely for both the client, the current client, or if you have a pitch. And the thing that when you have a pitch, we have a different pitches, like for different subjects, that sometimes we have a pitch about electricity, which is we don't know anything about. So we need to study more. If you have a pitch about, like, let's say, a student, young age, with autism, let's say, for example, you need to study a little bit more medicine, about the medical situation. So this is more like, you know, this part is more like, you need to dig more in terms of pitches rather than the client, because it's a current client. So it means that you work with this client a lot more and you understand what type of thing that he needs and what is the, let's say, the segment. You understand the product more. So it's this part. Definitely we need some inspiration, especially when you have an event, let's say campaign for Ramadan. We need to find an inspiration. We need to find something related more cultural, or let's say for an Indian or like a culture, or like, depend on the segment. So this part, it's a bit chaotic part, because you need to search everywhere in different channels. There is no a book that you can go and find things inside. It's more about knowledge. And this is what makes it interesting, because honestly, by being a creative person, or like account management as well in an agency, it means that you know a lot of things about many topics. It's expand your knowledge. The second part, which is ideation as well. Ideation is the same, because, you know, once you have let's say insight or information, data is very important nowadays, because, you know, sometimes give you a percentage, it will help you to understand how to create an idea. This is very important. So I'll give you a very quick example. Like recently they told us, let's say, illiteracy in Pakistan is literally 50% for the women. They don't know how to read. So this will ignite more ideas, you know, to create. So data is very important. So ideation, this is the brainstorming. This is where a lot of people create many ideas. Some of them silly, some of them good, some of them work, some of them doesn't work. Some of them we can transfer it or recycle it for another ideas. The only advice that I say here, don't be afraid at all saying your ideas, even it sounds silly, because sometimes, you know, building on those ideas, it can create something really big. And sometimes silly things for you, it might be for a more experienced creative person, or your ECD or CD, he will find a good angle of it and he can direct it. And this is what I was telling you about the feedback. So don't be afraid always to say your ideas, but definitely in the right subject, you know, you don't have. But brainstorming, the more ideas that you come, the better. And we always come up let's say with let's say 7, 8, 10 sometimes, and it's a big pitch. Let's say in the pitches, we usually come up with more ideas, and more people will be involved. And idea shouldn't be always a responsibility for designers. It can be anyone's responsibility. Can be account management has an idea. There's a lot of ideas came in the elevator, sometimes talking. We don't have to sit and hold paper and pen and computer. It's all about talk, chat, sometimes over the phone. Sometimes you are showering, you come up with an idea. Sometimes you're walking, driving. Most of my ideas, I come while I'm driving. I don't know, it's more like a me time where I have more focus on the road, listening and start thinking. So each one of us has his own way of finding those ideas. Conceptualization, to find the concept. So what's the idea when you say like the bigger idea, because this is what you need to create a bigger idea, but still you need to take this idea and find how this will be, let's say, dissected into like what you're saying, into mediums, into channels, into like messages. So once we create the idea, you need to start developing and creating the execution. You know, you need to find, and you can't say like, I know the idea, I know the execution. It means this is, we always say the first and the second execution doesn't work. You need to start working again in order to shape and refine the way you want to visualize this idea. So you need to do a lot of plan. You need to find that this idea works well before starting execution. You start doing some sketches, prototypes, you throw things, I don't like this, and you start being your judge. You're judging yourself at the beginning. So I don't like this. I don't like this one. I feel like this one needs something. Ask someone around you. Ask for help from your seniors. This is always help to develop your designs, to develop the idea, the art direction. Try to dig more to find some unique art direction related to the thing that the concept or the subject and all of that. Don't follow, like we have a lot of website, we go and look, but don't copy and paste what we saw before. You need to always, even if you get inspiration from that one, you need to, it's like mixing things. Yani, like it's exactly like finding like a puzzle. You take parts and you put things like a Lego. You put things together, you feel it doesn't work, I'll shape it in different way until you find the right shape. At the end, which is I was saying, you know, evaluation, you start by yourself, evaluating what you have, what you did. Are you happy with it? Sometimes we are super attached to what you do. I'll tell you like an advice, sleep on it, go next day, open the thing. If you are still happy with the result, it means at least first step past, like you're ready to show it to your like, you know, ECD. And don't be afraid to show it to more people. Maybe 3 of them, they've said, no, I don't like it. They may say, because you're a friend, they say, yeah, it's nice. But definitely you will know that when someone really got excited about something and you feel that, yeah, if you have point of view, if you say something about the colors or like designs or whatever his point of view, listen. If you feel that it convinces you, definitely do it and try it. And this is another something personal about me. I do a lot of variations, like which is something not good, but I will drop like, let's say 7 out of them and I will just keep 1 or 2 in order to present to my ECD. So evaluation is something, listening to feedback, something that you really need. And this is exactly the same. The only thing between the pitch and the client, pitch usually have a limited time. You have either 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. You are super privileged to have this long time. A pitch is more like, you know, you need to be faster and you need to create a full campaign, a 360 literally, and you need to come up with the best of the thing you have, because you know this will be competing against other ideas. Where in the client, you know, the relationship is more stronger. You know that he has a taste. You know his taste of ideas. You know exactly what you're gonna present in advance. So it's a easier relationship. Again, relationship with the client, super important, even on junior level, because clients always ask who did that. Sometimes they will talk and speak, and the good relationship, the attitude, it always helps, you know. That's it for me. I hope you have enjoyed the session. You learned some of my personal, let's say, stories, and I'm ready for any question, not even now, also in my LinkedIn. Please ask me any question if you need like as well to come to our office and to see how things works. I can arrange that with our HR as well. We had to talk before with our HR, like we want to discuss if we can like to have, it's not like a tour, but like we can have a session, explain more about everyday's work and what the things that happened that in the agency. That's it. Thank you so much.
Rana, thank you very, very much. So we've got a couple of questions about the award, the number of awards that students should enter, considering that they have already so many assignments to do. Which are the awards that they should perhaps concentrate on entering?
Honestly, like recently, there's no there's no number. Like when like the juniors, like the intern joined the agencies, it's not like, you know, something that we're asking them for how many awards that they did, like they did before. But definitely when you have like opportunity, let's say for now, like the Link student competition, which is I was a judge, like, you know, I was judging with that category, and honestly seeing like, you know, the work from like the how students they were thinking, and they create it was like a magazine cover, the campaign cover. Honestly, it was really kind of satisfying that student, they have a point of view, they have an idea how they, this is definitely, if you have part of this type of competition later on when you start like starting your like career, it will help that I know that the awards, I'm interested, I want to do more, I want to do that as well. I'm like now I will be hopefully jury in Clio award, which is as well a huge award show. It will open my eyes as well, like how the students, so students still they have a competition at that level. I think it will help. It's not mandatory, but it will help a lot because it shows dedication, it shows interest. And usually agencies love curious people, love dedicated people. It's not easy to work in agency. The more the bigger, the more the famous the agency, it needs that you need to work more and you need to work hard. Definitely result will be even bigger and recognition will be even bigger. So it shows the personality, let's say.
Excellent, thank you. I hope that answered the questions about awards. We have another one from Abdulaziz. In the advertising industry, which tasks or responsibilities have been most affected by the introduction of AI? And in order to succeed in an AI-driven advertising environment, what specific skill gaps do recent grads need to fill?
This is a very important question. Yeah, actually, this is a very good question. I'll tell you how like this has affected the way we do, the way we work. We used to have like, you know, every idea, it needs some sketches, especially when we do films, we do storyboards, we do a lot of things. You know, you used to have people, they help us to sketch things. The first thing that we start like doing, we start using the AI, you know, to do those elements. And now, you know, like using library, sometimes Photoshop and all of that. Now AI helping you to do a lot of stuff. AI now chat GPT now, like even the people writing things, but we need to be very, very careful because, you know, at the end we are a human and like the client, we need to humanize what we're doing. And those are tools, like it will help us to do things better, faster, let's say, but definitely they will not replace people thinking, people creativity. At the end, they are computers. But it's very essential, like on a personal level, when they start saying like, okay, we have now AI, let's create visuals. I didn't say, no, I don't want to learn. I open my account, I will start trying. And honestly, the more I'm working on it, I'm not the best out of it. Like I'm not the expert. You can't be expert in everything, as I said before, but you can do things that help you to manage everyday task. We like sometimes when we have a big idea about AI, we go to the expert. And this is when I was saying like evolution as like it's a quick thing happening in the ad industry, like everything evolving very quickly. You can be expert in everything, but definitely you can do a lot of collaborations. You can you can learn the basic of everything. And then when you need something very complicated, you go to the expert and they will help you to execute that. But yes, AI now is like part of our everyday routine.
Do you, are you starting to employ AI specialists?
Honestly, a lot of agency, I heard a lot of requests that they're asking for AI specialists. We didn't use that because still the AI that we have in the agency is more like facilitate, you know, like presentation and all of that, because we do a lot of photo shoots, we execute with our hand. Like AI is more stops, at least from my side, in the presentation phase, like to help you to present your ideas if you can't find the right proper images, or like, you know, it's a faster thing. And honestly, it comes with a beautiful, let's say, a beautiful outcome. But I heard a lot of agency, they start hiring AI. Definitely something we need to do as well. We're looking for the best AI people because this will make things more professional. And this is the future. But it won't replace creative minds. It will never replace that.
No, we had a good panel discussion about that yesterday, and that was pretty much the answer. It won't replace us as people, as humans.
Don't worry, still you have a job to find.
Yes, correct. Okay, we've got another couple of questions. How can we find a good mentor? I assume this is from a student. How can we find a good mentor? Do we go after celebrity designers? Or can you give us other advice?
Yeah, this is actually a very valid question. For me, I was like, that day I was doing an interview and they asked me, what is the leadership? I said, the leadership for me is inspiration, like to inspire people to work with you. So for me, on a personal level, I think how to find a mentor, definitely automatically you will go to the celebrity, he's famous or something. But for me, it's more about chemistry. Like, you know, I will never take an advices or like inspiration for someone that I'm not clicking with in terms of like, I feel something that represented me or something that I'm looking up to do the same. When I say I have two mentors, I have many mentors. Actually, I have my ECD, Andre, as well. He's teaching me something about the management. He's so good how to put things in places. He's very good managing people. I have another mentor, which is, I said, Ali. I have MC to discuss with her about future plans. So each one of them, I have many people in the, some of them like, you know, like how to present. So finding mentor you're not going to go and search, you know, it's not like, you know, I'm going to search for a mentor. It's more about, like very similar, like who's your role model in life? I have my aunt, she inspires me to live the way she lived as my mom, how to deal with the kids. This is my mentor in life. Mentor is not always in business. So it's more a feeling. You feel like this person, I respect him. Definitely I will learn something from him. You can't learn everything from one person. It means that you're copying that person. You need to learn many things from different people. This will create you because you need to be unique and individual, as I said in the beginning. So it will come, don't worry, you will find your mentor. Yeah,
that's excellent advice. We have another very good question from Ravina. Ravina, nice to see you online. How can a junior graphic designer effectively pitch their concept to a director who dismisses it without consideration? And what strategies can they employ to ensure their ideas are heard and valued?
Okay, this has happened. And I don't think they happen because, like, you know, let's say the seniors they don't respect your opinion. I don't think, you know, sometimes in this busy world of advertising, every day is so busy, like things, and we have a deadline. So sometimes the senior, they don't have time to do that. And the way you're presenting things also, it's really matters. And the way you put things to them. Again, creative is about storytelling. The way you're telling your idea, you need to craft it in a way, attract attention of the senior to make him feel like, I want to listen more. I want to see what he's doing and then advising. If you're just showing him like a piece of paper that without research, so that nobody will say, no, or yes, this is the answer. But he said, I need to tell you something, and always start with something that he never heard about before, or maybe he heard, but it's interesting to say. And I feel this is for me, I feel like cultural things, and specifically for Emirati designer, which is honestly, we are always looking for Emirati designers. I'll tell you why, because they have more insights because the expat, they don't know a lot of our culture. So when we have a subject, like let's say about Emirati, I'll always ask their advices. Tell me more insight. When I go to my ECD and tell him, you know that in Emirates, like let's say they do this, he never heard about it. So this is it's like a hook. You start the conversation with him. It's not about the age, it's about the conversation, the story that you're saying. It should be very like inviting to continue listening to it. And sometimes, of course, they said, no, I don't like it. You feel like you want to cry because you spent a couple of hours, but do again, do better, try it. He said he never say no for something that good. Definitely he has a point of view. Maybe he doesn't have the time to explain his point of view, but consistency and working hard, definitely it will show in your at the end. He will listen at the end.
Thank you, Ravina. I hope that answered your question, because it can be very daunting for a junior to approach a senior designer in an agency.
They shouldn't be scared. Just jump in front of them.
That sounds easier said than done.
No, I'll tell you something. Again, I'll tell you something about, this is a very funny story, but like my ECD, she was MC like Marie Claire. I used to walk with her towards, like, you know, she was going towards like her meeting. I explained to her my ideas while I was walking with her on the road, because she doesn't have time to sit with me at that time. So we had, like, now we had make fun of this, like our talk always very important talks while we are walking towards where she's going, or she's going to the elevator. We always walk. So always be like, find the right time and the right, you know, story to tell at that time in order to find like the right answer, let's say.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you, Rana. We again
Thank you.
appreciate your input into the festival.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that I answer. I'm always, as I said, I'm available. Just send me questions. I'll try my best to answer those questions. And don't be honestly afraid. It's really, I'm not gonna say happy world. It's very exciting and surprising world. You know, every day you're gonna learn definitely something new. You're gonna meet new people, and there's always something, you know, exciting that will make you love what you're doing. Definitely you need to love what you do in order to work in this advertising world.
Definitely. Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you
good
so
day.
much.
Thanks,
Thank you
Rana.
so much,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.